All right. So we're gonna a categorical variable. So this is not numeric. So we're looking for something that's answered with like words or a category, something like that. So let's open up this is our data, and it is closed now, so we can't add any more data points into it. But we've got some different categories, and I'd like to see you guys use some different ones. Okay, pick the one that you think is most interesting. Got our where'd you eat your snack, male or female, is your snack salty, sweet? Those are three categorical ones. Let's see if we have any others that would be considered categorical. You could do the one where it's like describe why you had your snack in one word. There's probably a lot of overlap there, but that's going to be harder because some people may be eating it for the same reason, but they used a different word. Yeah, I'd say we got to pick one of these three. Okay. Where'd you eat it, male or female, and is your snack salty or sweet? So I am going to pick the one male or female. So you guys have to pick one of the other two. Okay, you got to do the where'd you eat it and salty, sweet. All right, so here's how we do it. I need to get a graph, and I need to get a graph I can copy and paste into that document. So what I'm going to do is, since I'm going to use the male or female category, I'm going to click at the very top where it says D, because this is column D. Once that's highlighted, along the menu bar, I go over to looks like my screen might be zoomed in a little bit, which is why I can't. No, it's not. I have not shared this with you guys yet, so I want you to follow along. And then if you are still struggling with it when it's your turn, then you can ask for some help. But I want you guys to follow along for right now. So again, I highlighted D. There's two ways that I can access. Oh, and I see that's why. There we go. That's better. So there's two ways to access the graphs. You can go to insert chart, right? Or you guys can see what that little picture looks like next to the word chart. That little picture is right there. It's on the far right. It's like the third thing from the right. It says insert chart when I hover over it. I'm going to click on that. Now, typically the first thing that gets pulled up is a bar graph. Okay. This is it. This is what I need to copy and paste. Now, if you click on the three dots that are in the top right corner of your graph, there's a thing that says copy chart. So I'm going to click on copy chart. I go over to my assignment, and in that, the bar graph goes in this first one. I just click inside the first one, and I can do Command V, like to paste it. I could right click and click paste. Now it says you can either link to spreadsheet or paste unlinked. You don't need to link this to a spreadsheet because I just want to make sure it's accessible no matter what. So I'm just going to go down there and do the paste unlinked. And what it's going to do is it's going to paste our graph right there in the box. Okay. Now, there are a couple questions that go with this. Did this graph surprise you? I'll talk about it real quick. No, it doesn't, because this is probably pretty close, or a lot closer to what we have. I'd say there's still probably, if we looked at just males and females, there's probably a bigger percentage of males in our two classes than there are females. According to this, it's a little less than 60% and a little more than 40%, a little less than 60% male, a little more than 40% female. But it's closer than it was when we first started, when it looked more like 80% to 20% female to male. All right, the second page, pick a numerical value. Now I'm going to go back to the snack record. Okay, now I don't need this male or female graph anymore. So I can go up and click in the upper right corner again, and I can go delete chart. Okay. If I need it again, I can obviously open it up again. But so I'm done with that one. Now I need to pick a numerical variable. So I could do how many servings, how many calories per serving, how many grams of total fat, how many milligrams of sodium, how many grams of, I think this is sugar. Yep. Let's see what other ones we got here. How healthy? I think that's an interesting one. How healthy? How much does this snack cost? How many ingredients are in your snack? All right. All right. I'm going to pick one of these, and I want you guys have to pick from the other group. We'll do, how many servings did you actually eat? So again, if I want to do a chart with this information, I go to the top and I click on G because G is the column we're in. I'm going to go over here to the insert chart and click on that. Now the thing it's going to pull up, this is a bar graph. We don't want a bar graph for this one. It says make a histogram. So what I have to do is in the chart type, right? Usually in the suggested group, histogram is one of them. So this is histogram chart. So I'm going to click on that. Okay. So I've got my histogram here. Now my bin size is a little weird because it's 1.25, 1.5. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Pay attention to this part because this is how you change your bin size, which they call it a bucket in here. All right. In my setup, I go over just to the right where it says customize. And then the second thing down is histogram. I click on that arrow to open it up and I go to bucket size. Now, I'm going to do 1, okay? Because we did serving sizes and our serving sizes were like 1, 2, or 3 plus. So I'm just going to go ahead and click 1. And that does a pretty good job of making our bin size something a little more manageable, okay? So it shows us there were over 60 snacks. There was just 1 serving. There was just about 20 where we had 2 servings. And then looks like probably just over 10 for our 3 servings, okay? So this gives us a 3 plus servings. So this gives us a pretty good representation. So again, click the 3 dots, copy chart. If I go back, click in the box where it needs to be pasted. And again, you don't need to do the link the spreadsheet, just do the paste unlinked. And it'll paste it in there for you. You just then go through and answer your questions. Now my bucket size was 1. How would you describe the data? I would describe this data as skewed right. Okay, it looks skewed right to me because the peak is on the left and the tail goes to the right. Okay. We got that last page says using the same variable, change your bin size. So I could go back here and see, I could go over to my customize and I could change my bin size to something like, say, 2. All right. Well, this shows that the vast majority of people had snacks that were 1 or 2 servings, and only a small percentage were 3 or more. Okay. And what I would copy and paste this one in as well. So same idea, same way. All I'm doing for the 3rd page is I'm doing the same variable, but with different bucket size. Okay. To try and see, you can make it a smaller bucket, you can make it a bigger bucket. It's up to you guys. Okay. But for you guys, I want you to pick one of the other variables. Don't use the how many servings one. I want you to use one of the other variables there. Okay. All right. I'm going to post this assignment for you guys, and it'll be like we've done before, where when you open the file, it'll be your file. Okay. So it'll be your file to work with. Don't worry about messing it up for other people. It'll be your file. Now, I will say be careful about the data because you could change the data in this spreadsheet if you're not careful. So just make sure that when you're clicking through the data and things like that, you're not accidentally changing the values. But everything should be set up and ready to go for for analysts for analyzing it. Okay. All right. We ended up getting 103 entries.
Nice.
103. So we did make it over 100. Stop this.